Ever stare at your phone waiting, no reply? You think she's ghosting me. Instant panic, instant shame, instant loss of power. But what if I told you that silence isn't always rejection? Sometimes it's curiosity in action. Like a cat, it doesn't sprint away from a fish it likes. It watches till it's sure. That's what the silence means. Not cold, not cruel, but being watched. You didn't disappear. You created space. You focused on your life. She noticed. Maybe she's studying your strength. Maybe she's weighing your presence. Here's the hard part. Most men respond to silence with desperation. They sprint back, text again, explain. Why? They were taught, if she's quiet, fix it. If she ignores, prove your worth. Big mistake. That method always ends in heartbreak, because when you chase the silence, you show she holds your value. Instead, let her feel the space. Let her wonder. Let your life continue. This isn't skipping. This isn't punishment. This is wisdom. Absence doesn't cost respect. It shows respect for yourself. And while you stay grounded, she's not ghosting. She's studying. Curious. Watching if you wobble. Checking if you crumble. But what if you stay steady? What if you stay calm, focused, occupied, full? Then that silence becomes a question mark in her mind. Ever see a balloon let go into the sky? First it floats, then it waits. It doesn't come back because someone calls it. It comes back if gravity's still strong. Now think about her. She's not gone, she's not running, she's drifting on purpose. She's watching something simple. Will your gravity pull her back? Not your words, not your feelings, but your center, your stillness, your life. See, most men chase. They reach up, jump, beg. They forget that strong gravity doesn't chase stars. It stays, it builds, it pulls without trying. That's how a Stoic man moves. He doesn't question if she'll come back. He asks, is my gravity strong enough to be missed? That means purpose. That means presence. That means peace, even when she's far. The guy who panics when she's distant. He was never grounded. He was attached to approval. And when that approval floats away, so does his mind. But you know the truth now. You're not abandoned. You're being studied like gravity. Will he stay calm when I drift? Or will he lose himself trying to hold me? That question, it decides everything. Because women don't return to weakness. They return to pull, to energy, to certainty. So while she's drifting, you build, you focus, you go deeper into your own world, not to punish her, not to manipulate her, but to strengthen the force that brings everything real back to you. Without chasing. This isn't about games, it's about self-respect. It's about truth, and the man who lives in truth never begs gravity to prove itself. So still think she's ghosting you, or do you see it clearly now? She's watching, she's testing, and your stillness is the answer. You think it's quiet. It's not. Behind her silence, she's listening, not to your words, to your energy. She's studying how you handle distance, how you handle confusion, how you handle her not being there. Because here's what no one told you. Women don't just observe your best moments, they observe your lonely ones. When she stops texting, when she stops calling, she's not always gone. Sometimes she's watching the storm you build in her absence. Do you freak out? Do you send 3 messages in a row? Do you ask, did I do something wrong? Do you spiral, or do you stay steady? That's what she's watching. Your emotional balance. See, women don't fall for the loud guy. They fall for the man who keeps his center when everything goes quiet. That kind of man doesn't ask where he stands. He already knows. Because his value isn't on trial, his worth isn't up for votes. The silence, it's not a punishment. It's a pause for her to see your real temperature. And the Stoic man, he doesn't flinch. He lets the space stretch out like a wide, quiet sky. He fills it with presence, not panic, because presence is louder than words. Peace is more attractive than pressure, and a man who needs nothing pulls everything. When you understand this, her silence no longer hurts. It teaches. It shows you whether your peace was real or just a mask. So, when she goes quiet next time, don't ask why. It's not random. It's not some mystery. Her mixed signals, her silence, that weird distance she puts between you, it's a test, a quiet one. But she's not testing your words. She's testing your self-worth. She wants to know, do you even value yourself when you feel ignored? Or do you chase harder, get more desperate, try to prove you're worth it? That's where most men fail. See, a man with low self-worth thinks love is earned by doing more. He gives, then gives again, then overgives. Why? Because deep down he's scared. Scared she'll walk. Scared he's not enough. And that fear, it shows, it smells. But the Stoic man, he plays a different game. Actually, he doesn't play one at all. He doesn't chase what doesn't chase him. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't try to fix a vibe that went cold. Why? Because he knows, if he starts proving himself, he's already lost. The real value of a man isn't in how much he gives, it's in how much he guards his peace. He doesn't need to ask, do you still like me? Did I mess up? Can I do anything better? He knows his lane, he knows his worth, and he lets her come to him if she sees that value. That silence you're panicking about, he welcomes it, because while you're worried she's slipping away, he's watching who he becomes in the silence, not for her, for him. This is the part that separates boys from men. Do you get shaken when she shifts, or do you remain your own center? Because guess what? She doesn't need another man who folds the moment he feels unwanted. She's watching to see if you crumble, and when you don't, when you stay grounded, calm and focused on your path, that's when she stops testing. That's when she starts chasing. Not because you made her, but because you became a man worth chasing. You think being silent is weak. You think doing nothing means losing her. Let me tell you something. Silence is not empty. It's loud, powerful, heavy, and women hear it, loud and clear. You want to know what breaks attraction the fastest? Desperation, not words, not gifts, not flowers or long texts. It's the energy of a man who can't sit with his own silence, a man who panics when she doesn't reply, a man who thinks absence means rejection. That man loses every time. But a Stoic man, he understands the power of not being everywhere. He understands this truth. Your presence is currency, and if you spend it everywhere, on everyone, all the time, it loses value. Absence makes them feel what it's like without you. That's when the mind starts racing. Why hasn't he called? Why is he okay without me? Did I lose him? That space you gave, that silence you held, it wasn't empty, it was pressure, and pressure creates awareness. Did I lose him? That space you gave, that silence you held, it wasn't empty, it was pressure, and pressure creates awareness. Did I lose him? You see, most guys talk too much. They explain, argue, convince, trying to win her with logic. But the man who disappears into his purpose, who becomes quietly distant without a scene or a tantrum, that man forces her to reflect, not by guilt, not by manipulation, but by being too focused to beg. Your absence isn't a punishment, it's a mirror. It shows her what you were actually bringing into her life, not with noise, but with peace. She won't say it, but she'll feel it. Because when a man vanishes without bitterness, when he chooses calm over chaos, he becomes unforgettable. So don't fear your silence, master it, let it do what words can't. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Confidence ain't loud, it ain't showing off. It's not about being the alpha in the room or flexing your car on social media. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for applause. It just moves, like a mountain, unbothered, present, still. A lot of men think confidence is something you act, like a mask. Fake it till you make it, right? No, that's not Stoic. That's insecure. Because if you need to act confident, then deep down, you still don't feel it. See, true confidence comes from competence, from self-trust, from the quiet knowing that even if she leaves, I'm still him. Even if she ghosts, even if she doesn't respond, you stay centered, not cold, not rude, just unmoved, because you don't need her reply to validate who you are. You already know. When you walk with that kind of inner peace, you stop being desperate. You stop chasing, you stop reacting, and she notices. They all do. There's something about a man who doesn't flinch, something magnetic, even mysterious, because he's not trying to prove anything. He's already chosen himself. That kind of energy, it can't be faked, and it can't be ignored. She's not used to it. Most men fold, beg, overgive, overshare, but not you. You stay still. You focus on your life, your mission, your peace. Ever noticed how quick we are to react, to text back fast, to panic when she pulls away, to chase clarity when silence shows up? But here's the truth: reacting is weakness, responding is power, and sometimes not responding is the greatest move of all. You feel it in your chest, right? That anxious buzz when she doesn't text back, when her tone changes, or when she says, "I just need space." That's your mind begging for certainty, your ego trying to fix what was never broken, because real power, it's in not needing to fix anything. A Stoic man doesn't chase peace, he becomes peace. He doesn't spiral when things don't go his way. He doesn't lash out, he doesn't argue, he observes, because he knows the storm outside can't shake him when the inside is still. This is emotional mastery, not bottling things up, not being robotic, but controlling the expression of emotions instead of being controlled by them. You're not cold, you're just not desperate. You're not angry, you're just unmoved. And you know what? That calm, that stillness, it drives her crazy, because she can't figure you out. She can't control your reaction. And suddenly, she wants to understand you more. She wants to know what's behind that silence, that calm, that stare. That's how attraction builds, not through noise, but through stillness. You don't need to scream to be heard. You just need to be grounded enough to never shout. Let her storm around you. Let her test your balance. Because when you stay calm while everyone else panics, you're not just attractive, you're untouchable. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. She's not pulling away because she's confused. She's pulling away because she's not afraid to lose you. Now breathe, sit with that, because this part right here, it's not about her, it's about you. See, when a man is always available, always giving, always proving, he becomes cheap. Not because he isn't valuable, but because he offers himself like he's not. You ever notice how women want men who are hard to get? That's not a game, that's biology, that's human nature. Scarcity creates value, and the truth is, she studies your behavior when you're not around, not your sweet texts, not the compliments, but what you do when she disappears. Are you still building, still grinding, still busy with your purpose, or do you fold, crumble into a text-chasing mess? Because a Stoic man knows this, he is not easily accessed. His energy is rare, his time is expensive, his presence, a reward. He doesn't have to say it, he just lives it. He builds a life she wants to enter, but not one that's waiting on her arrival. So if she ghosts you, don't chase her shadow, step deeper into your light. Go quiet, not out of revenge, but because you've got better things to do. Because when you treat yourself like gold, she'll realize she was holding diamonds in her hands the whole time. But here's the secret, even if she doesn't come back, you still win. Let's clear this up right now. Having emotions doesn't make you weak. Letting emotions control you, that's what weak men do. She's not watching your words, she's watching your reactions, your silence, your storms, your slips. That moment she ignores your message for hours, that's not just her being busy, that's a test, not a game, not manipulation, but instinct, to see what you do when the connection feels threatened. Do you explode? Do you get needy? Do you spiral? Or do you breathe? Do you wait? Do you keep moving forward like a mountain that doesn't flinch in the wind? Because a stoic man doesn't suppress his feelings, he masters them. He feels the ache, but he doesn't let the ache make decisions. He knows a calm mind is a powerful weapon in chaotic moments. You ever seen a man sit still in pain and not blink? That's not numbness, that's discipline, that's edge. And that's exactly what women sense. She might not say it out loud, but when you don't emotionally unravel, it pulls her in deeper, not because she wants a robot, but because she craves a man who won't fall apart when things get hard. Because if you can't handle emotional distance, how can you handle life's storms? So next time your stomach twists, your mind races, your fingers itch to type paragraphs to her, pause, look in the mirror, and say this: I am not my feelings, I own them, they don't own me. You want to know the truth? A woman may walk away, disappear, vanish without a single goodbye. Not because you weren't enough, but because you were too available, too easy, too eager, too open. She didn't ghost you, she measured you. She studied how quickly you gave yourself away. And once she figured out there was no mystery left to explore, she vanished into silence. Here's what most men don't get. Women don't chase certainty, they chase meaning. And meaning doesn't exist when you hand over your heart, your time, your energy, without her earning it. So here's the lesson. A stoic man doesn't wait to be chosen. He becomes the standard, the mountain, unmoved, focused, purpose-driven. He doesn't beg for validation. He lives in a way that makes her wonder what he's up to. He doesn't chase closure because he knows his life is the closure. If she vanished, he doesn't react. He reflects, learns, elevates. And then he becomes so full of purpose, so rooted in peace, so dialed into his mission that she feels the void, not because he said something clever, but because he became something rare. That's the game. No drama, no games, just alignment with who you are. The man who doesn't ask, why did she ghost me? Instead, he asks, what version of me is so powerful she regrets leaving? Your life is the answer. Now go live it like you're the prize.